You know, sometimes I feel like that this is just getting harder and harder. It's becoming so difficult to find good merchandise to be able to flip on eBay. And I'm just becoming tired of constantly going out there trying to search for merchandise, and the competition has gotten out of control. Every time I go to a thrift store, it's absolutely packed full of people. I've been doing this for so long. I remember when I could go to a thrift store and there was just me and maybe a couple little old ladies in there. But times, they are a changing. They've definitely changed, and there's so much more competition. We have to be on our A game. You have to constantly be educating yourself. If you want to be a good reseller, it isn't hard. There are thousands of videos out here trying to teach people how to become a better reseller. And the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is the fact is that you do your homework, and that you're out here and that you're looking up items, trying to expand your mind, being able to get outside of your comfort zones, looking stuff up. I have been going to a local junkyard, and I've went to this junkyard. I talked to the owner, and I told him, I said, I can go to your junkyard out back. I said, I can pull parts off of these vehicles. I said, I'll sell them on eBay, and we'll do a 50-50 split. And today I took him a check for $118. But that was more than what he had. He was going to take all these cars and he was going to crush them. And I was like, why would you do that? There's so much money there. So I went and I thought outside of the box, and I went to this guy, and he trusted me. There was a level of trust there. He let me take the parts, let me take photos of them, let me list them, and then ship them. And then I had to wait to make sure that the people were not going to send them back, and they were up to their, whatever level of quality that they wanted. And, we're going to have to become better resellers if we want to continue to do this, because as the economy gets worse and worse, people, I'm not saying that you're not intelligent, but what we're doing for a living is not rocket science. We buy an item for money, we take it, we put it on eBay, and we sell it and we ship it, or Macari or whatnot, or whatever platform that you want to use. It's just absolutely not a difficult thing that we're doing, and it's low-hanging fruit. You do realize that more people are getting into this game every day. And some of it has to do with people like me who make videos, put them out on YouTube. Some of it has to do with Facebook groups. How many Facebook groups about reselling are there with over 100,000 members? And then there are TV shows like Storage Wars. We're just seeing that people are becoming more interested, or maybe they're just needing to help ends meet so that they can feed their families or pay their bills. And more people are pouring into this space every single day. I'd made a video the other week about saying that now is not a good time to become a full-time reseller. And I would dare say that for some of you who are struggling as full-time resellers, that now is a good time for you to get out of full-time reselling and do it part-time and go get a job, because the economy is looking bad. We're in an election year. Things are going to get bad over this summer. Hoping I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be some kind of Nostradamus trying to predict the future, but it's an election year. We all know what happened the last election year, and I think that it could happen again. But what I'm trying to say is that if we want to become better resellers, that what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to educate ourselves. We're going to have to do the things that nobody else is willing to do. You're going to have to be willing to learn things that no one else is willing to learn. You're going to have to push yourself in your reselling education. And I've been doing that my whole life. Ever since I was a little boy, I was born poor. We didn't have money. I was raised on welfare. You know, everything that I have as an adult is something that either me or my mother had to fight, scratch, and claw to get. And we have done pretty good for ourselves. I've done pretty good for myself. My wife, she is a huge help to me, and she helps me grow my business. But I can tell you that the future is not looking great for reselling. That everyone's kind of smartening up. And this is where the rub is. You know, you've got thrift stores now like Goodwill. They're selling this stuff on eBay. And they're selling this stuff on their own websites. A lot of your thrift stores are learning that people are willing to pay more for this stuff. Like, the 10 years ago, you could go into a thrift store and they would have stuff that you could pick up for $2 or $3 that would easily sell for 40 or 50 bucks on eBay. And now those items are few and far between. They're definitely not as easy to find. And the people that are working in the back rooms at the thrift stores, they're that younger millennial generation. They're these 20, 30-year-old people that are not computer illiterate. These kids and young adults grew up knowing how to use, iPads, knowing how to use cell phones, knowing how to use computers. So they understand how to get on there and to look stuff up. While the generations after me, I graduated in 1998, and we had a computer lab in our high school. But pretty much anyone that graduated from probably 95 and back, like, they were a totally different beast. They didn't have the internet, and those were the people that were looking this stuff up. They weren't looking this stuff up. They were just going in going, oh, look, I've got, look at this bobblehead. The only way I know what this thing sells for is because I seen it at Walmart and it sold on the shelf there for $5. They don't understand the concept of internet research to be able to go on there and to look stuff up. So for so long we had it so good. We were able to go into these thrift stores. We had these older people that were in there just doing the best they could, pricing stuff cheap. And now they've all they're not retired, but they're slowly being replaced in these positions by these kids that were raised on, being able to buy stuff offline, and they're just smart. They're just a lot smarter, and they're going in there and they're doing their due diligence, and they're making this stuff they're making stuff more expensive. There's more people when I go to the auction. There's more people there standing next to me at the auction. So I don't know. I'm just wanting to make a video just to talk to you guys, to let you know that you're not alone, that, what are you seeing out there? Are you seeing the things that I'm seeing? Are you going to be able to adapt? Have you thought about leaving full-time reselling and going back into a job and maybe doing it part-time? I know a few people that have just completely left reselling behind. It was taking up too much of their life, and they're like, I am absolutely done with this. I don't want nothing else to do with it. I'm ready to move on with my life. I want my space back, and they've sold out, and, you're starting to see more and more of that. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, go down and hit the like button. Let me know what you think, and God bless you guys.